Hello all and welcome to The Big Story, where we discuss the hottest topics of the day right here in the heart of the newsroom. I'm Haryanto, coming to you live from the Straits Times. Now we are streaming on Facebook and on YouTube, so be sure to comment, like and share, and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel. While you are at it, remember to hit the bell button as well to be alerted of our videos. Now I'll be joined by my newsroom colleagues to talk about the stories that got you talking today. Now for our first segment, efforts to curb the dengue epidemic have been stepped up. Now Sembawang GRC and the National Environment Agency say they are doing everything they can to stop the transmission of dengue. In particular, the area around Woodlands Avenue 6, where a total of 360 people have been infected in 2 dengue clusters, which are currently the largest in Singapore. Now, 3 other large clusters were found in Geylang, Chai Chee and the Thomson area. How worrying is this epidemic? Now, what more can we do to stop the spread of dengue? I have with me right here Senior Health Correspondent Salma Khalik to tell us more. Welcome, Salma.
Thank you, Haryanto.
Now, Salma, dengue can be said as endemic, right? And it's a perennial issue. Yes. Why are we paying extra attention to it now? Is it a real threat now more than ever?
Okay, what's been happening is that we had 2 fairly low infection years, the last 2 years, so there have been 2,000, 3,000 per year. But this year, for the last 10 to 12 weeks, it's been going up, up, up. So about 3 months ago, it was 100 and something infections a week. Yep. This month, it's been over 400 a week. So that's a bit scary. Yeah. And to date, I think 5,700 people have been infected. That's more than for either 2017 or 2018.
Right.
And nobody wants to be sick.
Yeah, of course.
So although dengue is endemic, the latest study shows that roughly 1 in 3 people who are infected, end up in hospital. And they're there for 3 or 4 days. Not comfortable. Yeah.
And of course, Salma, earlier on when we were talking backstage as well, you mentioned that there's some good news.
Yes.
Yeah?
Last week, the numbers fell.
Okay.
By 31. So there were 436 cases, 31 fewer than the previous week. Right. But don't get too optimistic.
Yeah, should we still worry then?
Of course you should still worry, because 400 and something people being infected a week is a lot. Okay, we are talking about, 70 people every day who get infected. And the ones that are reported are the serious ones. Yeah. So there are other people who have minor symptoms. Yeah. Those are not reported because they don't go and see a doctor. Right. So to have more than 400 people fall seriously ill every week, it's quite serious. Yeah. We have to wait and see whether the downtrend continues or whether this is just a blip.
Yeah. And of course, is it possible, just to ask you, right? Is it possible to have a 0-case dengue?
I wish I could say yes, but no, I'm afraid not. Yeah. Dengue is spread by the mosquito, and we've got lots of mosquitoes here, lots of Aedes mosquitoes. Singapore is an open country, so even if everybody here doesn't have dengue, somebody will come in with it. The mosquitoes will come over with the virus, so it's not something we can stop. It's too endemic in the whole Southeast Asian region.
Having said that, of course, Salma, all hope is not lost, right? There are still steps that can be taken by the individual to mitigate the whole situation, to make it better. We know that, some of the things like do not leave your vases with still water and all that. What more can we do at the individual level then? Right.
Okay, you're right. Being bitten by a mosquito is not a problem. Being bitten by a mosquito that carries the dengue virus is the problem. Yep. So you're talking actually about 2 groups of people. Say if you got infected by dengue and you are sick with it, make sure you don't get bitten again. Because if the mosquito bites you, it'll then inherit sort of the virus from you, and the next person it bites, the next 1, 2, 3 person it bites, it could pass that virus on to that person. And obviously, the next person it bites is going to be not too far away, and that's probably someone in your family or your neighbors. So if you've got dengue, make sure you don't get bitten again, so that the mosquitoes in your house, in your area, do not carry the virus.
It's funny, Salma, when you mention all these examples, you always contextualize it in a home.
Yes.
Why is the home a perfect place, as it were, for the breeding of mosquitoes?
Because unfortunately, when NEA goes around looking for breeding sites, more than half, about I think 60% of the breeding sites were found in homes. And everybody knows what to do, but unfortunately, the mosquitoes are smart. Okay, so when they say that a lot of breeding spots were found in pails, you're not talking about pails of water. People turn their pails upside down to get rid of the water, but on the rim of the pail, you know, that little bit there, there's a little bit of water.
And it's possible?
That's possible.
Oh my goodness.
Half a teaspoon, that's all it needs for the larva to breed, you know, a 20-cent coin.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful, like these little nooks and crannies, wherever half a teaspoon of water can be found, that is a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
I tell you another spot. You know, a lot of toilets, you have these toilet brushes.
Yeah.
So you put your brush down, and then the bottom, sometimes the brush drips water, and then you get a little bit of water there. That's enough.
My goodness, my goodness. So for those of you, of course, you know, at home, make sure that these are the little spots, right, that you have to be wary of. It just takes, like what Salma said, it just takes half a teaspoon of still water for the mosquitoes to breed. That is really a cause of concern, really. And so make sure that, you know, it's not just about overturning your pail of water, a big pail of water, just little spots like that.
Make sure that the rim doesn't contain water either, you know, the flower pot, the plates under the flower pots.
So best is to make sure to keep these areas as dry as possible as you can.
And we're helping ourselves because we are keeping ourselves healthy.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, thank you, Salma, for coming onto the show to tell us more about the case of the epidemic here in Singapore. And of course, for more stories on the dengue fever, you can visit our website at www.straitstimes.com.